You have great power. Even though you've been raised as a human being, you are not one of them. Goodbye, my son. Our hopes and dreams travel with you.
He'll be an outcast. I'll kill him.
How? He'll be a god to them.
He saw what Clark did.
You're the answer, son. You're the answer to are we alone in the universe?
Can I just keep pretending I'm your son?
You are my son. And I have to believe that you were sent here for a reason. And even if it takes the rest of your life, you owe it to yourself to find out what that reason is.
How do you find someone who has spent a lifetime covering his tracks? For some, he was a guardian angel. For others, a ghost who never quite fit in.
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time, they will join you in the sun. In time, you will help them accomplish wonders.
My father believed that if the world found out who I really was, they'd reject me. He was convinced that the world wasn't ready. What do you think?
What's the S stand for?
Welcome back, everyone. The CW just totally did the thing. There is a new Superman Smallville TV show that's coming next year. So I'll explain what's going on. They just announced a whole bunch of news and details, and it's all going to spin out of Crisis on Infinite Earths this year. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We're doing an Amazon giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your favorite Superman moment from any TV show or movie on the video. The actual Superman that they're doing is going to be what you probably expected, Tyler Hoechlin's Superman with his Lois Lane, them probably raising their John Kent. We actually kind of got a teaser in last year's crossover, so I'll explain how they developed it and how this project originated and what it's going to look like next year, because they're using Crisis on Infinite Earths to change the way that the multiverse works in the Arrowverse. Right now, everybody is kind of on a different Earth with a couple of them on Earth 1, like Flash, Arrow, now Batwoman, and because they have Batman on that TV show, there is a Batman on Earth 1 too. So as you would probably expect, there are a lot of people that are theorizing that they're going to do the worlds live, worlds will die from the original Crisis on Infinite Earths in the comics to fix some of those issues. Why wouldn't you want all your heroes on one Earth? But I'm so happy that they finally confirmed my conspiracy theory that I've had since last year's Elseworlds crossover, that they were using the Superman scenes in the storyline as proof of concept for what a new Superman TV show would look like. There wasn't a ton of Superman during that, but relatively speaking, we had gotten so little Superman up to that point that it felt like a lot. Like, oh wow, they're putting a whole bunch of Superman in this crossover. Now during Crisis on Infinite Earths, we have at least 3 different versions of Superman, so they're going way overboard, obviously, to set up this new Superman Smallville reboot, so to speak. Technically, it's not a reboot of Smallville, but it's their new Smallville TV show. That is the CW's favorite thing, to reboot or redo their old super popular shows. The whole idea with Superman in last year's crossover was that they established the tone of his relationship with his version of Lois Lane, introducing the Bitsy Tulloch version, and let you know how long they'd been together, how much she knew about his life as Superman, what the dynamic was. Then they set up the idea that they were about to get married because he's proposing to her right at the end of that in that little tag scene after she discovered that she was pregnant. And this is all happening right after they passed the Monitor's first test and saved the Earth from the Book of Destiny. Superman tells Supergirl that she would have to literally and metaphorically hold down the fort solo, make all the Fortress of Solitude jokes that you want, for a hot minute because they were going to have to go to the safety of Argo City to give birth to their baby. They just kind of left that hanging there. They haven't referenced that baby since then, not even on the Supergirl TV show this season. So it's like, okay, pretty big plot thread that they have to pick up with during Crisis on Infinite Earths. They posted a picture of the crossover earlier. Stephen Amell's daughter is standing right here in the front. This was one of the last days that they were filming. One really little person, was blacked out. So a lot of people are like, hey, wait a minute. Maybe that's the Superboy, John Kent, and they just don't want people to see him. So early speculation, the baby that they said that they were going to have at the end of last year's crossover is going to be the John Kent from the comics. He becomes the new Superboy in the Rebirth comics, if you haven't been a big comic book reader the last couple of years. They had a long-running Super Sons comic book series with him and Damian Wayne, and even though they haven't said anything about doing Damian Wayne in the Arrowverse anytime soon, the basic concept is that Smallville is coming up on its 20th anniversary. It's been that long since the Smallville TV show debuted. The CW, like I said, is all about rebooting their older, most popular shows, and there won't be another Man of Steel sequel for at least a couple more years. There have been rumors about them doing another one in another 2 to 3 years. But Arrow is going away. The Flash also might be ending after season 7 or season 8 in a couple of years. They need another big comic book hit. Everyone wants more Superman on their screens, both the movies and the TV shows. Why not go for the easiest slam dunk in the world and do a new Superman TV show? A couple of months ago, when they started to hype up Crisis on Infinite Earths and talk about how Arrow was going to go out in grand style, they said that the CW was developing a new superhero TV show, and they weren't talking about the Arrow spin-off TV show. My hope was at the time that they would do the no-brainer and do the Superman TV show, but sometimes they make really weird decisions, so you can never really count on it. But apparently last year, some of the people on the Flash TV show left after the crossover to start working on the new Superman TV show, and it's been in development since the Elseworlds crossover. So I think the only reason why they sat on this news, because they knew that they were going to do a new Superman TV show for the past year, was precisely because Arrow is ending, and they didn't want to overshadow that. Like Stephen Amell's Oliver is going to go out in style, and they didn't want to slap him in the face by trumpeting out a new Superman show early. Because the minute that you tell people that there's a new Superman TV show coming next year, coming 2020, that's all anyone is going to care about. The promise of the hot new thing to bring all those lapsed CW Arrowverse fans back who quit the shows a while ago. Next to Batman and Wonder Woman, Superman is the most important character in DC Comics history. If I were running a TV network, I would bend time and space to get as much Superman in my universe as possible. So because they're using Crisis on Infinite Earths to set up this new Superman TV show, early plot theory, we have Brandon Routh, who's leaving Legends of Tomorrow as Ray Palmer. He won't be coming back to that show, but he's going to be playing Kingdom Come Superman, reprising his role from Superman Returns. And if you weren't aware, that character is also canonically meant to be an older version of Christopher Reeve's Superman, because Superman Returns is meant to be a sequel to Superman 2. Because they have a couple other versions of Superman that I'll mention in a second, a lot of people are wondering if he's going to be leaving the Arrowverse, if he's going to be the one Superman to sacrifice himself, because you gotta kill at least a couple really, really big alternate versions of the characters during Crisis in order to make it feel meaningful. Aside from killing off Oliver Queen or making it seem like he dies, who else could you kill that seems that big? Obviously a version of Superman, or an alternate version of Superman. So he's just pretty high on the list, but if he doesn't die, they could always bring him back to cameo on the new Superman TV show. We have Tom Welling's Superman coming from the original Smallville series. I don't expect them to kill him off, so he can always come back and cameo on the new, quote-unquote, Smallville TV show, even though technically it's not a brand new Smallville TV show. And potentially Dean Cain's Superman. I know a lot of you have asked whether or not he's going to have a cameo during the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. They haven't said anything about him, but he's still alive, he's still able to cameo, and Terry Hatcher is still alive too. She's still able to come back and cameo as her version of Lois Lane. But everybody post your theories in the comments below, and how do you want them to bring back Tom Welling on this new Superman TV show to cameo every once in a while? But leave any big questions that you might have in the comments below, or any big video requests. And remember, there's a new Flash episode this week, so while you wait for everything, click here for that new Flash Batman crossover teaser, and click here for The Boys Season 2 trailer and new characters breakdown. Thank